Gajendra cleared PMP with all above target. Now, whenever anyone cleared PMP, this gives me extreme happiness. With Gajendra, there is something special. We had a special bond even when we started. We worked really, really very hard. And Gajendra, in 2 weeks, we cleared the PMP with all
Yep.
above target, right? In two
Yes.
weeks, we cleared PMP with all above target. Now I have to tell you something. When Gajendra joined in this one-to-one program, he was when I told him you are gonna clear in 7 to 14 days, maximum 3 weeks, and he had a deadline to give exam by today. He was kind of skeptical. He said, "Sir, it seems very, very hard." I said, "Don't you worry. We will be able to clear in this time." And today, Gajendra did this impossible. Today, Gajendra cleared PMP with all above target. Gajendra, this is your journey. The mics belongs to you. You can share your journey in any way you like.
Definitely, Amar. First of all, let me thank you, Amar. And by God's grace, or I don't know, the way that I was searching, and the initially, the way that initially before talking to you, I was in complete mixed feelings. I don't know how to get started because I had too much of content that I kept it ready to start and go on. But I had a deadline because 28th September, if I miss the deadline, I'll have to redo the complete application process because it's gonna expire. So though that's gonna expire, so I had a fixed deadline, and for that I was planning to get through some Udemy courses, and then I had a since I was going through some online classes and all, I was not comfortable with. So I went back and purchased the book, and I had a PMP book, and I have the other course materials from Udemy, and then PMP exam book. I can show you that. See, this I purchased it all hard copies of it so that I can refer it. And yeah, you guys can believe this. See, I purchased all the books
So
just
many
because.
books.
Yes, exactly. So I purchased it, and I have started going through the PM book, PM book, and I was quite surprising that how am I going to achieve the target what I have with these materials and all. And I thought, okay, let me
Gajendra,
go through.
Gajendra, before moving forward, just
Yeah,
one question here. I will keep on interrupting you.
sure,
In
sure,
my
sure.
in my program, did you
Yes,
have I asked you to refer any book?
that's what I'm gonna cover. That I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come to that part. I'm
Okay,
gonna come to
okay.
that. So I started, searching the websites and see if there is any, online tutorials or any other best reference that I can go through. So I don't know. I can truly tell you, Amar, and because somehow I was really impressed by seeing your video, and I was going through the YouTube, and I just clicked some videos, and I've seen you and some messages, and somehow I really get connected. Okay, okay, this is the guy, and I have seen your contact details and my email and phone number. Everything was available there itself. So I thought, okay, why can't I trust and go and check with this? So I just believe that, okay, let me check with you. So I pinged your I sent you a mail through a Gmail that these are my concerns, that what I have. So what you want me to do? Or I mean, I basically requested you to give me the suggestions, and if you don't mind, and I told you in that mail that I put 5 to 6 points that what are you are gonna give me suggestions. I've expected that you might respond back, sending the addressing each and every point. So that was my first expectation. And suddenly, I you asked me my mobile number and you joined, and we had a call. And after a call is that I realized that, okay, when you spoke to me and you told me that you can complete PMP in 7 days max, and you have till 28th time, so we have enough time to prepare and get that cleared. So I was literally shocked. Okay, am I, within 7 days and too much of material I'm gonna do or not, kind of it. But still, I was. But when you say the confident level, right, that has increased to some extent, and the way that you confidently said that you will cover it, don't worry. That's what you told me, and I told you this issue, so you told me and clearly. So that's where I thought, okay, if he has the confidence, why can't I build my confidence? So And from there, the day, from that moment of the time till now, the engagement level that what we maintained. And you don't believe, Amar, we had a festival in between during the preparation times.
I know,
And
I remember.
exactly,
Ganesh
I
or
was
something.
literally
What was the festival name?
Ganesh Chaturthi festival.
Yeah, yeah.
I felt that, okay, see, I have festival in between, because I have to go out and purchase, and in between I have to go and all. Even when I go out, I used to think that, okay, my God, I have to answer Amar that what he might say, that he told me to do this. I might not be able to complete today. I don't know what to tell him. And I had a, suddenly I had to go to my friend's place sometime, and it was emergency kind of a important work. But even when I go there, I used to always think that, okay, I told me to complete this, but I am not able to gonna complete today. What I have to tell Amar. So after coming back, okay, immediately, no matter it might be 2 o'clock, 11 o'clock, what time it is, so come back quickly, jump onto the topic. What he said, I have to finish it. So sometimes, it was like, reach to 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. But again, you ping me, say that, okay, it's enough for today. You go to bed and take rest, and come tomorrow. You plan for this. So you planned in a way that, much simplified, and a very good approach. When you started agile as a first topic, right, that where, had, made me to connect even more. Basically the topic, and the way that you're explaining in that video, so it really helped me to understand even more and further interesting. And further on, that you have started from the reverse side of it, because I usually expect that they might come from integration, scope, schedule kind of it. But you started in a different way, because so that I can correlate things like, okay, I was in the agile, then where it is connecting, coming resources, people, and communication. That's where I was started. So that made me to connect each topic by topic, so not to lose anything. And the other side, you told me that, I told you, I mean, you don't believe or not, I told you literally, I mean, after a week I told you, Amar, I'm really confused, and there's too much of content that I used to be referring it. Do you want me to write down and refer something? And I asked you, you told me that you just keep them somewhere outside, or if you required not at all useful, just throw outside. You told me clearly. So I was thinking, Amar has told me like this. And when I see the content that what you have in your training material, literally less. Okay, will this be sufficient enough to pass the PMP exam, is what I was thinking. But still, after that, I try to complete some of the materials. And when we getting close to completing the training materials, you told me use Prepcast. I said, in the Prepcast, I first started, going through that. I see it was really first day. It was really extreme difficult for me to solve 10-15 questions. That's where you told me to practice it without time. So I started practicing. I was getting good scores, and then, okay, I thought, okay. Then when you started telling me to, okay, you are not doing the, don't go with a time, don't go without time, just start going the time. So that approach, really helped me. From that moment to till date, I will tell you, Prepcast with your material, with your training, and then Prepcast is what I made it clear. That made me to clear the exam with above target. Because the Prepcast time, right? Whenever I get time, it was really helped me to log into Prepcast as and when I get time. Okay, I got up, come 60 questions. You always used to tell me, Gajendra, 60 process. Gajendra, 60 question people. Gajendra, business. 60 process. And after doing Prepcast, initial days, I used to miss the time. I used to be like, it used to start from 60 questions, 72 minutes. But it used to be like, 50 questions only I used to complete. And time will go off. And I used to tell you, by considering the score, by having 50 questions, I only answered, but score is very less. I really don't know. I'm really surprised. Just keep telling me that, okay, that's a really good score. You go on. And from there I continue following that 60 questions approach. And it helped me really to, help address that, overcome on the time issue. And from there, when I really actually get into the final mocks kind of it, right, when I started getting the full mock of it, um, so when I went and gave the first mock in prep cost, I just got only 65% or something. I really felt bad. Okay, but still, you said, okay, it's nothing bad. Prep cost 65 still good. You don't worry. Go and try. And I tried the second one. It gave me 67%. So I felt okay, 67, not bad. Then you gave me, okay, I've been practicing only prepcast. I felt okay. Is it okay enough? Only because I'm only practicing prepcast. I don't know if there is any other reference materials am I missing, or do I need to look for something? Then you gave me Udemy to try once. So when I tried Udemy, so I felt there's some slight different in terms of experience. Basically, Prepcast is like you have to go back to refer the incorrect questions, answers, and all. But Udemy has a very good experience. You just select the correct answers, wrong answers, everything, and you can quickly go through the mistakes that whatever it is. So I used to note down that what are the mistakes and Udemy. So I cleared couple of, and even Udemy, I failed the first full mock, and the second full mark, I thought, okay, I mean, I tried, I have completed the study materials, everything what Amma said, and why should I go for that? And in the Udemy, there is a sixth model. You say you specified that hard question something.
Hard
And I took,
questions. Hard.
yes, exactly. So that's what is. I did not ask you. Without asking, I just selected that and I went, and so I cleared that, and I was past that. In that, I got 72%. I was okay. I'm not bad at what I learned it. It is just that where I have to apply the what materials that whatever I have referred it. I have to just apply exactly what is required. So that's what I come back to Prepcast and again gave the mocks. So continuous 2 marks passed and got a 70% kind of it. So I felt okay. And again I asked you that am I ready to? You said okay, no. Even if you give exam today, you will pass the exam. So that's the level of confidence you had, and with that confidence really boosted me to okay, Gajendra, okay, definitely fine. And from there, the 2 days before prior to the exam, right, the approach what you told me, right, give 60 people 60 process, 60 people 60 process, and that continuously giving 60 people 60 process not only helped me to understand the process and people better, it also helped me to save time. And you don't believe me, Amar, I saved 5 minutes time. I cleared the PMP exam 5 minutes early. So I was literally happy, and I was surprising that did I save time. And before going to the exam, I messaged to Amar, I'm going to the exam. And
The exam was
after that,
actually you were able to give the exam
exactly,
before the
exactly.
agreed time. Yeah,
Scheduled time, exactly.
scheduled
So
time.
my
Yeah.
exam is actually scheduled at 12:30, and I anticipated it is working day, since it's most of the companies will be working, and working day, and the time is too far, and it's close to 30 kilometers from my home. So if I go by scooter, I might be tired, so I okay, it will be problem, so why to go and get there. So I went there. I mean, I expected that it will take 2 to 2.5 hours journey, because normally to go from 20 kilometers only it will take 1.5 hours, I thought, with the traffic and all. So I thought okay, let me go. 3 hours expected, but unexpectedly somehow I got a cab, very nicely reached early there.
So you went
Like,
with scooter or you went with cab?
I went by cab.
That's a good
So
decision. That's a
yeah,
good
so I went,
decision.
I went too early then. I know it's like, I expected to reach there 1 hour early, but I reached there 2 hours early. So they did not allow. So first, and as and when I, because the address also I don't know, I went, I see it is very close to the main road only. So I went and asked the person that I have exam at 12:30, but somehow I reached early. So can I come inside? He said, sir, if you can come inside if you are ready to write the exam. Man, my exam is at 12:30. Can I come? He said, no problem, sir. We have system. You can come and write. Awesome, that was really great, but I need some time. So they said okay, go inside, get rest yourself, and I took 10 minutes break there. Whatever is required for the exam, that they took a government ID proof and submissions, and they took photo and everything. They said, sir, 10 minutes time you take. So I took, relaxed myself, and only approach that in my mind at that point of time, Amar, okay, 60 questions, okay. I divided that 60 questions approach 230 minutes into 75 model. So prepcast was giving me 72 minutes, so why can't I extend that to 75 minutes, 60 questions, okay. Go start the exam. 75, 75, first 150, 20, 120 questions, 150. Still I will be having another 75, 80 minutes to clear last 60. So I thought okay,
So you
that will be
so
a
you
good.
changed the approach. The approach we agreed last night, 80, 80, 70. You tailored it,
Exactly,
customized it according to your
exactly.
own requirements.
Because the prepcast where I was practicing 72 minutes only, so I was able to meet the 60 questions with 72. But in prepcast, basically, there used to be like 4 to 5 questions, repeated questions used to come. So I used to save that time. So I used to think like, okay, 72 minutes because of the repeated questions, 72 minutes. If not, I might have completed, 75 max. So let me target 75. If not, 80 might be okay. That's what I thought when started. Second question is what I have really seen that, okay, problem started there. Okay, somehow I thought, okay, I haven't expected that there will be a problems to solve, but there is a slight one problem. But after completing that, the first, second question, third question, I kept looking into the question and answer. I used to keep changing the model, like, first answer, I remember that you were saying that you read the answer, then go to question and then answer last line. So I felt, okay, why to go and stick to one approach? I really applied twice, two approaches. One is, if question is lengthy, I go to the answer first and then go to the question. And if
Good.
question is lengthy and answer is less, so I go to the, first answer and then question. Like that, I used to be keep on changing whenever a question appears there. I used to just change my mindset that for that, how to solve that. So I just kept going on. And I at 40, after clearing close to 40 questions, I checked my time there. I saw, okay, it is very good. So I just continued that repo, and that movement, it just continued. um, After 60 questions, I got a break. I saw the time. I cleared 60 questions within 70 minutes. So I was really happy. Okay, yes, I have a good time to continue. So, and the 10 minutes gap, right, that's really helping me. Like, after 60, 10 minutes break, after 60, 10 minutes break, remaining 60, you're done with the exam. So that's really, really helped me to complete the exam before 5 minutes. And yes,
So,
that's
Gajendra,
how.
yeah, Gajendra, now let's talk about more of the exam.
Yep.
First of all, for all the people who are going to watch, because some people will think that prepcast is something that is clear near to exam, I would like to add something. Why I give prepcast to my students? Because of the framework. In all the exams, like in the Udemy, you cannot select 60-60 question. Even in
Exactly.
other simulator, you cannot select 60-60 question. I myself, Gajendra is making my own simulator with the same framework that you can
Yep.
select from even 5 to 100 questions. It will be
Yep.
live by the end of December. The only reason I give
Yep.
prepcast to my student is this reason. It's not that their
Exactly, sir.
questions are,
Exactly.
it's their
That
question are
is
clear.
really working to
Yeah,
save time. Exactly.
that is the only thing. 60-60-60. Like for example, two of my students have exam, three of students have exam in this week. I just had a call, Gajendra. So one is US. He said, I don't have time to do 60 question. I said, do 10, do 20,
Exactly.
do
Still,
20.
yes.
That is the thing. That is the only stuff that I have good in prepcast, which
Yep.
I recommend. Because I
Exactly.
have no interest in the prepcast, I actually buy prepcast at the full price for my all students. Like we
Yes.
have, like I have 10 accounts, which
Okay.
for each one-to-one student I buy one. So this is very important thing, that people think that you cannot clear the exam with prepcast. Guys, you can clear the exam. Like other mocks are also good, tridib and all those things, but the framework, Gajendra didn't have that time. And I know there were many distractions for Gajendra. When he gave the exam for 4 hours, there was a reason. There was
Exactly.
his job is very demanding. So he live in a typical uh, Indo-Pakistan house, that there's a family there. There's Gajendra, while I'm talking to you, I saw my daughter just got up and she was outside at the door. Okay, so
Exactly.
my
Exactly.
wife came and she bring it up. That's a normal thing, and we
Yes.
must
Yes.
accept it. So when you
Yes.
have 1 hour or when you have 30 minutes, you can manage, but continuously 4 hours is difficult. That is
Yes.
a reason for using the prepcast. And
Exactly.
we customized everything, and Gajendra didn't have to go to any of the book. So
Yep.
Gajendra, out of three domains, like out of three tests, one,
Yep.
two, three, which was the most difficult for you?
Um. Basically, after, if I go through, or consider your, completely rely on your material, there's nothing difficult, I felt, because the approach that what is there, and the approach that, we had exactly the similar approach in the exam, sir. So basically, you go through the content material, which is more than enough, and you go to the prep cost just for a practice. Exactly, you rightly pointed, because uh, it gives you like select 10 questions, 30 questions, because that is something that helps you to practice the time, not only to the applying the questions and answering them, but it really helps to practice the time. So that is a very good approach, and that's more than enough to go clear the PMP exam. Yeah.
More than okay. Now, Gajendra, which area was most targeted? First of all, let me put it to everyone. Why I don't allow books? I'm an authorized training provider of PMI. I know that the material I have actually, Gajendra, that is from PMI, and that is
Awesome.
based on exam content outline. That is based on exam content outline, and I know exam content outline. Everything that is needed in that is required. I have studied PIM book 6. I have studied PIM book 7. I have studied every book you just showed, Andy Crow and all those things, and I took the good material for them and put
Yeah.
it into my material.
Yeah.
And then
You customized the material, so that is awesome.
yes,
Yes.
that is that I will tell it, and I keep on changing my material. Like you will give feedback. Yesterday, Irfan cleared the exam. Three more students have exam in this month, so they will clear the exam. They will feedback. I will keep on updating material. What I mean by updating, I will remove something from my material. For example, I do not teach critical path method in my training. Have I taught you? No.
I still remember applying Pareto. Just go focus on 20% content, clear the exam. So I still remember that conversation with you. So that is exactly what you've been doing it really, sir. So that is what it is really applied.
Yes, that is necessary even in life. Like I just had a book, a new book, Think Like a Monk. So Jay Shetty actually say that apply minimalism. Okay, let's talk more about exam. Now,
Yeah.
agile portion, how much that was in the exam?
For me especially, I feel that mostly like agile questions, like 100 questions plus was there, I believe. 100
Hmm.
plus questions was there, 100 plus.
How much exam was more towards stakeholder communication and team or resource? That is, team is resource.
Yeah. So rest of the questions were mostly relied on one business and stakeholder communication scope, and there were few questions from risk. Apart from that, there is nothing. But basically, like schedule and cost, and these are all like 3 4 questions max. That what I see.
No,
But
that is there is
mostly,
nothing. Three, four
mostly
questions is like
into mostly into agile and risk communication stakeholder.
when we say agile, so does that mean that it goes into depth of agile or scrum or mindset is more than enough?
Mindset is more than enough, sir. If you
Scrum
have
and
agile
mindset.
mindset, if you have,
Okay.
as you said, right, scrum master, you be a servant leader, you be a project manager, and basically especially resources, there was too many questions to handle resources.
Yeah,
Especially how to develop the resources, how to train them, the performance of the team, how performance the team pay. There's too many questions, but having an approach of agile mindset and that particular situation, that's it, sir.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any formula question, Gajendra?
There were a couple of questions, but it is a simple one, sir.
Like you can SP greater
Uh,
than one, less than one. You never
exactly.
needed to use. And
I
no
had
critical.
one. I mean, it is schedule variance and cost variance, and it is
And that
as
is yeah,
similar.
you can actually could do without calculator. And
Exact.
okay,
Calculator is
Gajendra,
also provided, so yes, it is a simple
but
one. Yeah.
you don't need that. Critical
Yes. Yes.
path, any question?
No, sir.
Critical path, no question. Okay, and you have already told us that the material was enough. And the mocks you did on Udemy, were they effective? Were they relevant?
I feel prep cost is more relevant, sir.
More relevant.
And why I
Okay.
am saying is, prep cost, the questions format and time and the description they give, right?
Yeah,
It is
it's basically a
exactly relevant.
framework. It's more
Yeah,
of a framework. The framework
exactly,
was more relevant. Okay,
exactly, sir.
Gajendra, thank you. Thank you very much for the entire feedback. Now we need three things from you.
Yes,
First,
sir.
each
Yep,
one teach one. I
sure.
added to I never added you to the PMP as parent group. I added you today. There was a reason I never added you. The reason was that you were already too much busy, and there are so many messages you will see now that
Yep.
can distract you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Secondly, each one that is the first is each one teach one. That is my
Sure,
motto. Each
sure,
one teach one. You must teach other people. Secondly,
sure,
I want you to make PMP questions. How
sure,
to make? I'll tell you after the call.
Sure.
Thirdly, very, very important, celebrate your success with your family. This
Definitely,
is the
sir.
time,
Because they,
Vijendra, this is very important. Like you
yeah,
really, really worked very hard. I know. Apart
yes, sir.
from those 2 days,
Yeah,
when you were busy in the festival, you
yeah,
were always, always studying or working. Because I know when
yeah.
I took someone and said that you will clear in 7 days, I'll not let them do anything else. So you did an awesome job. Well done, Gajendra. I am proud of you, my friend.
Definitely, sir. Yeah, definitely. And
And
thank my wife as well and kids, because you remember one day, Gajendra,
yeah,
one day
yeah.
especially, you said, Gajendra, I don't hear any background noise. Just because I took that, I applied risk responses and all. I told them that this is my risk. I cannot make that, so I applied that risk. So they really
Yeah,
supported me, and they let me study and
because the thing was that whenever we used to talk there was always
yeah,
kid
background.
playing, crying, and all those sounds, and of
Yes,
course
yes,
they are the beauty of our life. They should
yes,
be
yes,
there. So I was like,
exactly,
what happens today? Well, there is no sound today.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay, Ganjendra, thank you for choosing us, and thank you for honoring us. And
yeah. It's really pleasure working with you, sir. Awesome. Thank you so much. It is
thank
really, really, I
now,
don't have
now
words to express, but it is really great journey working with you, sir. Awesome.
same way, same way.
Thank you.
Gajendra,